All right, welcome back to the studio. If you're just joining us, this is still Daybreak Africa coming to you from the Lagos studio of KAFTAN Television. And up next now is our interview segment where we get to discuss topics, trending topics, because it's our social day on the program. So today we're going to be looking at a very important topic, which is setting boundaries. Really, how far is too far? Yeah, and we have a beautiful guest in the house doing this with us in the studio today. So welcome Vanessa Taiwo. How you doing?
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, quickly, of course, this sometimes can look like a girl talk, and thank God we are all girls on the program,
Right.
really. But then, away from that, let's talk about boundaries generally and setting boundaries. Because some people will feel like, okay, some people define boundaries as, when you set a limit, like an edge, you put an edge to something, or you feel, okay, there's a stop here when we are in a thing, or when there's a situation where when there's something, there should be a bridge at one point in time. There should be when to call it stop, when to call it, okay, pause, when you have to continue, more like a pause and play kind of thing. So I don't know if you have a contrary opinion to what boundaries and setting boundaries is.
Okay, I wouldn't say I have an opinion to setting boundaries because I feel if I'm in a relation, well, I will not say relationship, I'll say friendship. Okay, if I have this opposite gender as my friend and we are actually saying that, okay, yes, we're just friends, I feel it should just be that we're just friends, because I feel that if I'm calling you my friend, you don't have the right to pick up my phone and say because we're friends now, so it does not matter. It really matters because I can't just say you are friends, you pick up my phone and say, okay, I'm checking this, I'm deleting your pictures, I'm checking your messages. Our friendship has not gotten to that place. So I just feel if you are in a friendship or relationship with someone, you should let the person know your boundaries. You should let the person know that, okay, we're friends, but I don't like this, I like this, so that when the person is it or when you're overreacting, the person will not say, okay, what has come over this person that I feel we're friends, I feel this thing is normal. So no, I feel you should let your friend or even your partner know what you don't like and what you don't like. Set that boundary that okay, don't do this, I don't like this, do this is what I like and this is what I don't like. That's what I feel.
Okay, I feel let's take a pause on that. I like your angle, and I already have a question to throw to you, but let me ask my co-host. If I don't know what's boundary setting to you.
Okay, for me, boundaries, when I talk about boundaries or setting boundaries, I expect that, like Vanessa said, there's a limit to what you can do, or the kind of things you do, actions you carry out when we are friends, whether being in a relationship or being just platonic friendships and all of that, or even I think it cuts across different places, not just relationship and even friendship. You can in the workplace, even at your religious centers and all of that. So I think that there is a limit. So going past that limit is what I say as going past boundaries. And if it varies for different people, what there's a popular adage that says one man's food is another man's poison.
Yeah.
So what can be a boundary or going past my the limit for me might be different from yours or from Vanessa's.
Definitely.
So it depends, and there are so many things, but personally I live a simple life, so I don't have too much of stress like, okay, you don't have to do this, don't do that, because once you start giving me so many rules, I feel like, are we friends? Are we personally, if I call you my friend and then you start giving me, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that,
You need to cut that kind of friendship off. But anyway, I like the way we're going. I like the pace by which we're taking the conversation. It's there's room for any other opinions. But then looking at, if I want to analyze what Vanessa actually said, it means that, or let me say that there will be a point. Let's say we all are friends. The three of us, we are friends normally, and then I would just be like, one day I'll just probably invite you both. That's because I want to set a boundary. Let's say I just came from one is it conference now, and probably they were talking about boundary setting. And no, okay, I just feel like, Grace, hello, can we meet during the weekend? Vanessa, can we? And I'm like, okay, babes, we are friends, yeah, but I need to I want to know if it's something that is properly spelled out.
My very first reaction would be like, really? So you called me for this?
So come and give me, first you'd be like, who is this one setting rules for? Are you, and somebody, I saw a meme one time and the meme said that you know, even if you become president today, there are still some of your friends that they will come to the government house. It's from the gate they will be shouting, Grace, are you in that? Like, they don't respect anything. So because if I'm trying to be, I want to know if it's a formal kind of thing or it's an informal. Now, if it's formal, then I need all the package, whether I need to draft a mail and drop in you guys.
Formal. It has to be. Because if you make it fun, they'll look at you, they will not take you serious. But there are some certain ways you can just like set that boundary, let them know that, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that. You don't have to just say it. Even them, they'll see it from the way you react towards them. Like she said that if you're my friend and you're saying that
don't do this, don't do this, you're already giving me rules.
Yes, fine, yes. But it's not like you are giving that rules. But if you don't make it, if you don't state it, like you let them know that, okay, babe, I don't like this kind of thing. Don't do this.
You're don't do this. Vanessa is talking as if have you forgotten that we are ladies? And sometimes it can be very petty.
Yes, very, very
Before
petty.
you know it, I will just come to the office. I'll just be like, that Grace girl. In fact, I'm cutting out. Like I'm not talking to her because I'll go to her house. She will say, okay, let's take for instance. Okay, on this set now, I feel myself and Vanessa we fit into the same size. So maybe Vanessa is somebody that can walk into my house, go into my closet and pick up any of my clothes. She has been doing it for years of the friendship. And one time she just came and oh baby, you can't wear that dress. Like,
from where to where?
Well, what do you mean? And if you are there, you be like, Fumi, what's up now? It's not today. Is it? Why are you for me? Like, you know, you just can't. You know, we just have to stop wearing my dresses, my clothes. How will you take it? I just want to know.
Okay, I'll feel.
Would you really accept it as, okay, I think this is my friend trying to set boundaries, and you would love to keep up with the friendship, or you just feel like, I think I've overstepped my boundary. You know, we girls do that.
I think that is the major reaction we'll get.
If you have a certain friend and she's always coming to your house, they just enter your room, pick up your clothes. Eventually, even her will feel that she's overdoing it.
You think so?
We
are friends. So.
Even the person that is allowed, like even me that I'm allowing you come to my house and pick up my stuff. At some point, I'll feel somehow like this girl don't.
Okay, I have a very real life scenario, something that happened to me. Okay, so where I stay, I have a roommate, and then we are very close. We do things together a lot of times, and we're initially cooking together. All of a sudden, she started from, okay, I want to eat this meal, and probably what we wanted to cook. She wasn't interested. She's like, I want to eat this meal, so eat something that I don't eat, and then we have to cook, you know, separately and eat something different from each other. And then at a point I had to travel, but prior to the traveling, I still had a week, you know, to stay at home and all. So I was asking, okay, babe, what are we going to eat today? What are we going to do? Like, I'm not hungry. I don't know. I don't have so much money to contribute. That wasn't an issue before. It wasn't an issue like, okay, whether you don't have money, somebody else can sort out the whole bills and all of that. So I started feeling some sort of way. Is it that you don't want to cook? You don't want us to cook anymore? Just say it. Don't go through the corners of I don't have money. I don't feel like
getting all of that. I know ladies can be very dramatic.
And after I traveled, then I came back. Coming back, and up until today we do not cook together anymore, and we are still very close, very best of friends, like no issue, nothing. So it's just an unwritten or unspoken agreement that, okay, that's one scenario. And then there was another that happened. I think my baking supplies finished, and then I had to use our own for the main time.
Really? I don't think that's joke. They don't joke with that.
So I used the house for a while, and then
did you say for a while?
Not for a while, not one day. No, it wasn't one day. We were friends. No. This is what happens. We're friends. We're very close friends. I didn't think that it was going to be an issue. I shouldn't see anything until we were going to work together that morning, and she said, okay, Grace, I want to tell you something. I said, fine, what do you want to say? She said, oh, I noticed that you're using my this, you mean myself.
Oh my God. Oh.
And then she said all of that. I was like,
are you serious?
No.
Wait. Don't ask me serious. Please.
Yes.
Were you offended?
I was, okay, to be very honest, initially I was offended,
but
later on, initially I was like, no, this person should be saying this. But then afterwards I was like, okay, maybe this is what she wants, then there is no problem. But the way she said it, the way she has to come, she said, oh, I have a particular, if I buy this today, if I buy this soap today, I know I'm going to use it for a month, I'm going to use it for 2 weeks. So, using it with me would, obviously reduce the usage time and, all of that. And I understand.
Don't you girls think that sometimes over familiarity can actually, can breathe in a lot of things?
Yes, it does.
And before you know it, it looks like, okay, this girl is setting boundaries for me.
It does.
This girl is trying to put me in my place, or this person is trying to do this. Now, let's say, for instance, now we've been talking about friendship boundaries. And boundaries, there are so many boundaries. Of course, some people would say, there are healthy boundaries.
Yes.
And to me, I feel there are some boundaries that are just healthy. For example, you cited a very important I think an analogy sometimes when you said that there's some people that you give them your phone, you want to check a picture on my phone, can you just stay put on that picture? Do you understand? But then you see some friends of ours, from picture, they'll just be like, hey babe, where is this one? Wait, before you know it, they're on your WhatsApp messages. Before you know it, they're already and so you have this amount of money inside your account, and I was asking you that you borrow me 5,000 and people like, for me personally, I feel you have actually overstepped the boundary.
That is
whatsoever thing whatsoever we had to each other, you have gone past. That's why, if you know that even in marriages now, some people would say partners shouldn't look at each other's phone. Of course, to some extent, I don't believe that. We are lovers. In fact, we are married. I am married to you forever. No more. So what are you saying? She understands. So, but I think you shouldn't do it intentionally.
Or in a way you're trying to get something out of it.
And then some people say that thing you're looking for, you will see it. And sometimes it may not even be the exact thing. No, what you something that will make you cry.
There's no how.
So why not just day your day? Like, don't do anything. And another thing is that some people say family boundaries. Now let me give an instance. Somebody was saying something on social media one time that before she got married, there was this talk between herself and the husband that we are not taking in any family members, and if anybody is coming into our house, they're not spending more than a week or max 2 weeks. And they already discussed it before they got married. So fast forward to when they got married, something happened. The sister-in-law had issues,
and she
had to relocate to where they were, and then she got a job that was close to their house.
Wow, amazing!
And how Lagos house can be. So, and then it became, family started putting, your brother stays. This is just 200 naira to from where your brother stays. Why not just move in with your brother? And it became. The brother knew the agreements he had with the wife, but it was difficult to present that kind of idea to the family, because it's like we already set these boundaries. Like we're not doing this, but it happened that babe, my sister got this job. Can she just come in for a week? I will sort her out in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks became a month. A month became 3 months. And it started becoming an issue. And the lady was just like, babe, we discussed this. And now it's not looking, the whole thing, as sweet as that story was, it's not looking as if the lady was doing so much. Or she just doesn't want the family around. And looking at it very well, that's not true. We had an agreement. An agreement is an agreement. Babes, please, I want to ask you. Do you think that kind of
okay so I think that in certain boundaries boundaries can be adjusted, and we know that we have rules, we have things that we don't like people doing, but then in a way it can be adjusted, because at different points it calls for, let me see this person didn't do this intentionally, or maybe there are some different situations that call for this action that this person brought, or your friend brought in. So you can actually I just think that you can give grace to your friend or to any other person, and then maybe if it becomes reoccurring, like person does it first, second time, again and again and again, you can speak, you did this, we've done it countless times, but then I think it's becoming too much, and then you now set the boundary.
A friend was saying something one time that it's not everything that happens that needs to be talked about.
Yes.
There are some people that if you do, no matter how little that thing is, they need to have a conversation around it. They'll be like, babe, what you did earlier, Like everything has to be talked about.
Yes, so that
Whereas there's some people that they will feel like, you know, let's just move past this.
Yes.
Like, as much as they feel, okay, let's talk about it, like, oh, this is too petty. But I feel that if an action becomes, you know, something that keeps happening, then we can talk about it.
Yes.
I feel that some issues that can be left unspoken about, just leave it and let it slide. Now, if we're talking about this boundary setting, now we've been talking about it, okay, these are certain boundaries that needs to be kept and all. But how far do you think is really far for the boundary keepers? For people that really, you know, I know when to, people will, in fact, people will, I know that one way or the other, I might unconsciously have set some boundaries. You know, I don't like to call it the way it is, like calling it boundaries. I expect whoever I'm dealing with to know that, you know, you should use your sense. Like I would say, a right thinking person should know when to stop, you know, when to talk, you know, when to, you know, you don't just do things, you know, based on reflex, or it just happens, or kiniko. No, I expect that you should know when to stop. You should know when to go on. You should know, you should be able to read. If I'm cool with something, you will know. If I'm not cool with it, you will know. I mean, not actually come out to tell you. But how far do you think it is too far? Because sometimes it can lead to, you know, animosity if you're not careful. You can just build up enemies for yourself, all in the name of, you know, she should know. Let's take, for example, now, friends that work in the same organization. Let's say one is superior to the other. And you're my friend, you don't even respect my office. Now, if you don't respect my room, you should respect my office. So, but there are some friends that they don't even care. Whatever relationship, whatever level you guys are, you are going to pick up anywhere. So they don't care. So if everybody is doing mama sa or they can just back into your office and do certain things. And then I observe that when you try to call them close, like Grace, like, you know, you start by, you have sense, like no, you want to tell me that this is not like you are, and then when you now start getting serious, you know, there are some friends that you need to be I don't know, I can put it.
Even if you are too serious, they'll still not take you serious.
You need to be serious with them. Maybe when you change it for them, I don't like the way you just barge into my world. Like, hey,
I'm actually find it very insulting. Like, what is wrong with this one? Like, I
have told you through body language. I have told you in the room, babe, please, can you just message me if you need me to do anything? Just send me. You don't need to budget my room. You budget my room.
I think that the issue, what happens, especially in the workplace or things like this, is when you have friends or when you have friends in the workplace and obviously superior and all that, the friend should help make the work easier. I think that's the mindset. Make the work easy for your friend, because your friend is obviously, she has a higher responsibility. You need to make it, you shouldn't be the one stressing her.
Because if I would not attack anybody, the fact that I'm my friend, I will attack
exactly. And then to maybe solve issues like that. I have been in that situation before where, okay, I had to manage a group of people, and then the majority of them were my friends, and they were acting anyhow. I called them out in the public. Since you don't want to listen to me privately,
and how did they find it?
Obviously, they were very offended. Some up until today, some didn't. We are not friends. We are not friends because
why?
You know,
because of that.
Can
you see how petty?
Because of that, and you know, so I had to meet some to talk to them that, okay, you did this, and I did not expect it because you are my friend.
Exactly, and you should know me better.
That's what I'm saying. So you should set these boundaries from the beginning. Just let them know that I don't like this. I don't know. When you now overreact, don't find it offensive.
Okay, Vanessa, tell us how we should set it.
Okay, I feel that okay, you're my friend. You should know me. And I know you. I know that, okay, you don't like this thing. I don't like this thing. So when we're in places whereby people should respect me, you should not be the one disrespecting me. Because you know, this is my friend. She's probably hot-tempered. I can do something like that. She'll just flare up and overreact. So when you are places that, okay, let me respect myself. When you guys are together, you guys are playing, you should that, okay, yes, we can do anything. But the minute that you don't do that, or you don't give room for that boundaries, you just act normal. Even when you are in places that are supposed to be serious, they will not be serious, because they will not take you very, very serious.
I'm still having a problem with dealing with certain people. all in the name of, you know, we want to set
Know your
boundaries.
friends.
Even if I know you, it's like you don't. I'm not even talking about guys. Guys are very. I think guys don't have problems.
Yes.
Guys don't have problems.
They don't take ladies serious. It's ladies that have problems.
Ladies,
You-
we
I-
are
I
so
would-
petty.
I wouldn't say, actually, I wouldn't say, okay, we are so petty and all, but I think that the friendship that ladies share most of the time is always deeper. They don't share surface level friendship. If I call you my friend as a female, that means that I'm, you know, there's a kind of relationship I share that I can, you know, probably share anything and everything with you. And we are more emotional, so we deal more times with our emotions. Okay, I love this person. If I'm telling you I love you, that means that I really love you. I'm saying it all of my heart. So for me to, you know, call you my friend, and then I'm putting all of my emotions into you and all of that, and then you start acting in a certain way.
You know,
that
now
I don't like.
we are taking. Okay, what of friendship that, you know, it's not gender based. Like, okay, you have the opposite sex as your
opposite sex.
friend.
Set
That's-
boundaries because
You have to
don't-
set boundaries
because you
yourself.
don't set boundaries because as a lady now and you have the opposite gender as your friend, before you know it, can start touching you. Say we are just friends does not mean. But if you set that boundaries, okay, we're
Immediately
friends.
it happens. I don't
We're
do
friends.
this, I don't like
These are
this.
things I don't like. These are things I like. You will know that okay, this is my friend. She does not take everything for play, or she does not take it for granted rather. So if I do this thing, she'll get offended. That's like if you have a friend and it's the opposite gender, please set that boundary. It's very, very
It
important.
needs to be said.
It is very, very important. Don't take it for a
Of a
joke.
person who they were friends for about 10 good years, and then because my friend, we've been friends for 10 years, we've known each other from, you know, a very young age. He got into our house and then he went stark naked because you are my friend. And this lady came out of the room and saw him, like she was shocked. She had to, you know, run, and then she said she would, like, she cut the friendship immediately because she said, I don't. The guy said, oh, we are friends now. Why?
God, I
It's
beg.
so funny.
Very
And that's why
funny.
we need to actually set boundaries, especially for the male friends. If you have an opposite sex as your friend or your, because many times females too, I don't like taking
Even for the, it's not just the male, it's not just the male, the females too. Why should you have an opposite gender as your friend, as a female, and you're dressing anyhow, indecently, going to your male friend's house? You
should know that
you're already crossing the line.
No, you can't cross it. You
You're already crossing the line.
But sometimes we get too carried away with the friendship, and sometimes you'll be like, so wait, she be the same. She get married to our friends.
not
Not that kind of friend.
all your friends.
Not that kind of
Because I think
friend.
that not all your friends different. There are different levels of friendship, and you know the.
You know,
if
I
you know the
think
one
we
you
need to
should-
take a
you
study
should
into the
keep.
friendship that guys keep, because you know those guys are too mature for my
No,
liking.
they don't. They keep surface level friendships.
You cannot know
Guys
the,
keep surface level
you cannot know the
friendships.
mindset of a man.
They
You
do
cannot know, even if
I-
your friend.
For
You
a
cannot
guy
know.
to share the deep level of connection with you,
with you.
they call themselves brother.
You know, why I had to say that is because even your siblings that are of the other sex, and you know, I think that I was having a conversation with someone one time like that, a junior sibling of mine, and you know, after the whole thing, I just said I love you. And
What's that?
I had to ask. I say, they've never told you.
I love you.
Because it was so awkward. I was just like, which one be you?
love
I
him.
love you.
I'm like, no, you are so bitter. They are not fun. There's nothing interesting about them
Because the lady will still
sometimes.
tell her fellow, I love you.
They
Please
hug.
have a
That,
wonderful
you hear
day.
guys say they can't hug
Each other. Like, why?
Like if a guy is trying to move close to a guy, probably like
Or even holding hands, like, hey.
like say this guy now. And some people, the way they are being shown love in their families, you know, they feel that's the way it should be. They feel there's no harm in arguing, there's no harm in, you know, trying to everything. Guys, it's not about shaking hands. It's not about my guy. See,
chief.
as I don't know if it's, I don't know what I can call it. They don't even know each other's name for months. Guys can be like,
they can be like,
they don't know each other's
And that's the
name.
surface level friendships. You can't expect me to call you and I wouldn't know your
Your
name.
name.
That's a
Be
problem.
like guy, oga, my boss.
Bro,
No
alpha.
boundaries. There are really no boundaries to set in that kind of friendship. Like just guy, alpha.
Just that mini
That's
friendship.
why
After
they are
that's
so
the
they are
end.
so good with each other. when they live together, they hardly have issues.
Yeah.
Because talk about shipping, if they even have soap to beat, that's when somebody will be talking about you use my
Use my soap. I already said I want to use soap for 1 month duration.
but then overall, I feel it's important to set boundaries, and we should know when to set boundaries. And to people that get offended when people set boundaries, I don't think we should. No, don't you think? Just look at it from their perspective. Maybe this person just doesn't like this. Maybe this person is just, sometimes don't even wait for us to even like spell it out.
Yes,
you should know. There's some things that should just occur to you naturally, that you should know that some things are wrong.
Yes.
Even in marriage, some partners, they can't use their partner's brush. They can't do a lot of things. They can't use the same thing. So if it's happening in marriages, talk more of relationship. Some friends want to, and you know how much, like I feel for you, because that day that your friend said, you know how much skincare products cost now, right? To take care of the skin.
Well,
and
I saw it from my point of view. I feel like, okay, you have a plan for your stuff, and then me using it is like, taking.
And whereas you have some people
that I'm saying, you're not
supposed
to feel offended.
I personally wouldn't care that you use my stuff,
even if you finish it.
She has.
No. I want
I'm saying it that even
if you finish it, you feel offended.
Yes. The program and leave now. Even if I finish your soap, you won't.
It has happened. I did not feel any bit of an iota of maybe anger or hate or say why did she. No, you are my friend. I think that's it for me. You are my friend. Anything and everything, but there are boundaries here. There are boundaries, but I didn't. There are some things that I don't feel
angry.
Why would I get angry that you use my soap?
Okay, I think everybody should have a friend like my co-host.
Yes, now at some point you feel
things that
offended.
I don't like people doing. So I have boundaries, and I think that every person should have. If you don't have boundaries, then you can actually take everything and anything, and you can fall for anything. So
but overall, I think we should just be careful how we send messages to people. So even if you're trying to, set a boundary, let's just do it with let me go local. Let's do it with sense. Like you don't have to be all bitter. You don't have to
you don't have to say it offensively.
Don't let the other
just say
person
that my friend, what's
feel
up?
bad before they start feeling like they're not even enough for and before you know it, depression sets in. Any small two things set and it's my friend. Person is my friend.
Emotional, like, my friend.
Anyway, thank you so much, Vanessa, for joining the conversation. We really appreciate every bit of the conversation with you. Yeah, that's all we have for you on the interview segment. We'll take a quick break now. Daybreak Africa returns in a moment.